close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room.
Hello, everybody. What's going on? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you live. Hopefully, you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream. We are live. All right, let's get right into it. Yeah, yesterday was a long stream. 10 and a half hours. That was the longest stream I think I've ever done. It was a long one. That was intense. I'm not gonna lie. There was a moment where it was just like staring at the screen that long without taking any kind of break, other than running to the bathroom once or twice, and like so dehydrated. Like I think I only had like a few sips of water that entire time. It was not, yeah, it was rough. But it was fun. We got quite a bit done. We did get sidetracked quite a bit, but that's okay. So yeah, we're back at it today. Yesterday we did a tutorial on SvelteKit. Yeah, I gotta say, based on what I've seen, I really like Svelte. I think there's more to dive into. when it comes into Svelte and SvelteKit. Hopefully, we can do that today as well. So give me just a minute. We're gonna load up YouTube here. Excuse me.
Hello everyone, today...
Alright, let me bring this over here. Just kind of get more about Svelte. Alright, mute this. Okay, bring these two up. Hopefully the popping issue has gone away. Sometimes I need to reboot my Procaster, so I think that little popping issue
Today
has
we're
gone
going to talk
away.
about Svelte, what it is, and
Oh,
why
this
it's interesting
camera's
to
so
learn.
high up.
Actually, no, more precisely why it's revolutionary, because Svelte is a paradigm shift. The best way to learn is to do. When I'm learning, I look at examples and I tinker about. But doing that with Svelte was a massive failure. I didn't understand how the state worked. I didn't understand how the application updated itself. And so I dove into the documentation. It specifies that Svelte doesn't use a virtual DOM, but is a UI framework that compiles component into basic JavaScript, unlike React, Vue, or Angular, which embed the framework in the page. But what does that mean in practice?
What is this?
It took me a while to understand the principles of framework. I was looking for how the application state was defined, but there's no equivalent to set state. Svelte just uses basic JavaScript, as you can see in this example. How do you tell Svelte where the state is, what is part of the state? Mentally, I was stuck. I didn't understand what was going on. The tagline of Svelte 2 was truthful when it stated that Svelte is a magically disappearing UI framework.
Magically disappearing.
But while I was searching, I came across a video made by Rich Harris, the creator of Svelte, and then I understood. When the documentation stated that Svelte compiles components, it was pointing the way. It was telling me what the truth was. Truth be told, Svelte isn't first and foremost a framework. Not in the way Angular or Vue are. Svelte is a compiler. And this compiler cheats, or rather it creates an illusion. Saying that it was magical was a good choice of words because, like a magician, Svelte kind of misleads us. It makes us believe we're coding in JavaScript. And that's not quite true. So what's the nature of this illusion? Svelte kind of cheats. It overloads the equals operator by adding an edge effect to it. That side effect updates all the places where the variable is used. It finds in the HTML a build time where there are dependencies on this variable, and it plugs itself into it. And this is where the absence of virtual DOM comes into play. To better understand, let's compare this with React. React keeps a copy of the component tree memory, and this is what we call the virtual DOM. At each frame of rendering, React compares the parameter of each node in the component tree one by one. If a parameter is changed, React refreshes the rendering of that node and all the nodes that depend on it. But this one-to-one comparison across the entire component tree is computationally expensive. Svelte, on the other hand, tracks value dependencies directly by overloading the equals assignment operator and all its variations. It's precisely the equal in let counter equals 1 that defines the state. Now, Svelte goes even further by also overloading this notion of a label to create dependencies. Let's have a look at this example. The name of the label, the $, is reminiscent of the observable notion. Here we define first name as world, then we define greeting. In the label we assign hello plus first name to greeting. Finally, we assign the value of Bob to first name. And here Svelte displays hello Bob. But the label, the line with the $, is before we assign Bob to first name. If we were dealing with pure JavaScript, which we would execute in order, greeting would be worth hello world. Everything happens as if with the label, the $, the link between greeting and first name is durable, as if we had created a dependency. And if we add in a log, we can see this clearly. When we reach the log, greeting is set to undefined. So the code in the label hasn't yet been called. Now let's explore this in more detail. The label notation can include a block. So let's put a log in there too. The console says undefined and then hello Bob. This makes sense. We can define multiple blocks with labels. Here, in this code, you'd expect that the label blocks would be executed in the order that they are defined in. But no, not at all. In the console, we can see 3, then 2, then 1. Svelte has detected a dependency graph. Block 2 depends on first name and updates the greeting variable. Block 1 depends on greeting and is therefore executed after 2. And now, as I have a twisted mind, I immediately tried to create a cyclic dependency. But the compiler detects this and threw an error. It's perfect, there are safeguards. I find that this illusion, this magic, I find it fascinating. The compiler simplifies the mental model enormously compared to what we have in React. At the same time, it's still an illusion. The compiler changes the way that JavaScript works. I love the way it works, which makes me want to use it. I hope you do too. Provided that you keep in mind that this operation, this way of doing things, is specific to Svelte. That this is not how JavaScript works without the help of Svelte.
Interesting.
Svelte brings superpowers to the code, but these powers imply great responsibilities. And in terms of responsibilities, yours is now to click the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.
All right, that's interesting. It's better than React, Prime React, 8 months ago.
I'm not a furry, but my ecosystem is bigger than yours, huh? Did you ever think about that? Look at the transactions. Rant. Hey, look, I like Svelte, but the ecosystem is smaller than React, so that's why I'm not going to use SvelteKit. This is the same message you might find on Reddit, Twitter, or even YouTube comments. The same copy pasta. Not exactly word by word, but the idea remains. It begins to become annoying and frustrating when you give people options to choose from, and their only argument is smaller ecosystem. And the truth, that is mostly a lie. Svelte.js ecosystem isn't even that small compared to React. Yeah, you are correct if you say that Svelte doesn't have that many UI component libraries. But even for that, there are options. Skeleton UI, Flowbyte, Svelte UI, Daisy UI. And if you want to have more UI component libraries, go make
Yeah, I'm
your
still
own
trying to
UI
learn what that
component
really
library in Svelte.
means, but
Publish it,
I think
and then
it's
wait for someone to find
a
it
different
and
way to,
say, hey, this UI component library is bad. I'm gonna create a better one.
create like global, what's the word I'm thinking about? Global, like a global variable. You know what I mean? Like instead of, like you don't have to use
JavaScript,
Redux or anything like that.
That is what, I mean, literally,
From what
that's
I'm
why if
gathering
you've
on
been
that.
building
All right.
enough JavaScript, if you've been doing it long,
It's not, let's see. Oh, it's only a month
A
old.
few days ago, a shocking new blog post from the React.js team dropped. As a React hater, I hate to say
Oh, never mind. Already read that. Oh, don't use Svelte. Why? Huh. Okay, there's not a ton of videos out on it. Yeah, it's very interesting, though. We'll never make it. Well, that's not a good way to look at things.
it is December 15th, 2022, and you're watching the Code Report. After what felt like a lifetime of waiting, SvelteKit officially hit version 1.0 yesterday,
it's a pretty
which is a
old video.
full-stack framework for the world's most loved UI library. When I tried Svelte for the first time over 3 years ago, it left me extremely titillated. It had an innovative compiler, elegant reactivity, and we just had so much fun together. As the years went on, I continued working with React and Angular, but truth be told,
not
I would
Angular.
often close my eyes and pretend that they were actually Svelte. I was web developmentally frustrated, but luckily, just in time for Christmas, we've achieved a glorious climax that makes it possible to use Svelte in a server-rendered application. Let's take a look at some code and see if it lives up to all of these innuendos. SvelteKit is very similar to other JavaScript meta frameworks like Next.js, Remix, and Nuxt. Like Next.js 13, it uses file system routing, but made a somewhat controversial decision of using reserved names to represent different types of UI, like page, layout, loading, and error. In addition, any file that has significance to the framework is prefixed with a plus sign. There's been a lot of discussion around this approach, and not everybody likes it, because you end up with tons of files in the project with the exact same name, which can lead to migraines if you expand all the directories in your editor. On the other hand, though, these conventions keep your project clear and consistent. Page.svelte contains a component that will be server rendered when you navigate to that route. After the the initial page load, it will hydrate, and then the client-side router takes over from there. This is what we call SSR, and I think it's the most sensible default. However, in SvelteKit, you can mix and match other rendering strategies. You can pre-render static HTML for Jamstack style websites, or if
I never understood the whole pre-render thing. Yeah,
to do everything
that's what my fucking brain doesn't.
Or on the flip side, if you don't want any JavaScript at all, you can render everything on the server like a traditional multi-page application. What's awesome though is that you can choose the best rendering strategy for a page with a simple configuration option. You're not locked into just one rendering paradigm. That's awesome, but the other big thing you'll want to know about the developer experience is how data fetching works. Every page.svelte file can have a matching page.js or ts file that exports a load function. The return value from this function will automatically be made available in the page.svelte file via this data variable. It's incredibly simple and also provides end-to-end type safety. The load function can run both server-side and client-side. However, if you want to limit it to just the server, you can do that by adding server to the file name. And speaking of server, I love SvelteKit's convention for building APIs. You create a server.js file, then export functions named as HTTP verbs like get, post, patch, and so on. That's nice, but here's where things get really cool. In many applications, you need to fetch data at multiple levels, like you might have user data at the root, then a dashboard with an order, then some comments below it. Fetching all this data is complex, and people have come up with all kinds of complex state management libraries that try to wrangle the complexity. In SvelteKit, you can do nested routing with layouts that can share UI with their children and also fetch data that's accessible by the children. But what's special about Svelte is that it has built-in stores. The page store gives you access to all the data on the current page and can be subscribed to with reactive updates from anywhere in the application by putting a $sign in front of it. Angular has actually been doing stuff like this for years with its async pipe, and I can tell you from experience that patterns like this eliminate tons of complexity when it comes to state management. Now, it's also important to know that when fetching data, you can have error and loading files that represent the UI for those special states. This pattern is basically identical to Next.js version 13. In addition, SvelteKit has form actions, which allow you to define functions on the server that handle form submissions. At this point, pretty much every modern framework has stolen this feature from Remix, which itself got the idea from the way every other PHP framework has worked since the beginning of time. And another piece of bonus news is that SvelteKit is also getting a library very similar to NextAuth for user authentication. Rich Harris, the creator of Svelte and SvelteKit, works at Vercel, and the team from NextAuth developed this library, which is awesome because that means it's getting world-class tools proven to work at the largest scale. Overall, SvelteKit is a genre-defining masterpiece. If you want to penetrate deeper into this topic, stay tuned for a full uncensored tutorial on Beyond Fireship. This has been the Code Report. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
I understood some of what he said. A lot of it, I'm not gonna lie, like some of it I didn't really get, but I got some of it. It's pretty interesting. Let's see. I'm trying to see the best way to. So we did that yesterday. No, we didn't do this one. We did what did we do? 2024. Svelte 5 is a triumph. Is that the newest version that's out right now? I think it is.
Hey friends, what's up? I thought in today's video we would look at the new Svelte 5 changes and compare them to the older version of Svelte using this component party site. Recently I started to get more into Svelte 5 as I feel the release is closing nearer, but you're going to see based on these examples how awesome the new version of Svelte is. Alright, so without any delays, let's get started. Alright friends, so let's start with reactivity. You probably all know and love this syntax. In Svelte 4 we can say let name equals John, and then we can use reassignment to update a value in Svelte, easy peasy like that. But in Svelte 5, oh no, what is this? $state. Oh, this looks a lot more complicated, right? But actually there's a couple of reasons why this is like this. So we're using these runes, which are just signals, and this really makes things a lot simpler, and when you write code you're going to see later how awesome it looks like. But basically the reason runes exist is in Svelte we had two reactive systems. So we had this kind of reactive system in the Svelte component itself, and then you probably used or at least heard about Svelte stores. So if you're using some code in another file, you would have to use a different reactive system, and this would get really confusing, a lot of things to know about. But in this case what you see here is the same way how we use reactivity inside Svelte components and outside Svelte components. So this already makes things a lot simpler. So if we go to the Svelte 5 REPL and see here, it's really simple, same as before, count equals $state, and there are a couple of runes, you have the derived rune and etc, and we can just increment the count here the same as before. Easy peasy like that, friends. So we can see the updating state, so we can use reassignment here, which is really awesome, and we can also use reassignment in Svelte 5, so nothing changed here. But another thing that these examples don't tell you, now in Svelte 5, you no longer have to reassign. So in the past, if you had something like, let's say, array, if you had something like these numbers and etc, and then when you would want to reassign this in Svelte 4 and previous versions, you would have to say array, and then you would first have to spread the old values, and then you would say new values. This is no longer the case in Svelte 5. In Svelte 5, you can just reassign the value, and Svelte is going to know to change it. So how awesome is that, friends? So that's really something beautiful. This is the same true for arrays and objects, and this is something I really love about Svelte 5.
It's like the JavaScript of, or the jQuery of fucking...
familiar with this label $sign syntax. To say label and double count, so Svelte is going to see this and is going to know to update this because it saw count here reference, right? But there's really a problem with this, because when you have a function and use these values inside, the Svelte compiler can't see this because their activity happens at compile time. But when you're using signals, this gets a lot easier and everything is so much clearer.
Wait, did you say signals?
What is going on, because you have this specified runes. So you have state, we have count here, then you have double count, we just say derived, and you can use an expression here. And there is another rune where you can do more complex things inside, you can pass a function, but derived just accepts an expression, and this is really simple. So now when someone else looks at the code, they don't have to understand this weird $: syntax, they can just see the derived rune, and this works as expected. So if you use this value inside of another function, now you have runtime reactivity thanks to signals, so things work more as expected.
That's interesting.
And I also want to mention that there's some confusion around this $ syntax, what this replaces, right? Some people think that they have to, there's this new rune effect, so you can use this. And people think, oh, this is React, but no, it's really nothing like React. You're not going to run into the same foot guns. You don't use effect to run updates, you use the derived rune, because actually how we had this $ syntax, this doesn't just translate to this effect. So for example, how you would say console log value in the past, you would use effect for this, for example, or for side effects, the domain, etc. But when you want to compute some value, you just use the derived rune, and that's
learn everything you need.
it. And in the case of console log here, there's actually a special rune in Svelte 5. Inspect, you can pass it a value, and this is really more advanced and helpful, and you also don't have to worry about removing it because this only works in development. So that's really awesome. Alright, so let's say for example you have this count component and you want to extract it into a reusable component which you can use inside other files, right? So let's reuse this increment function. I'm going to name this counter. And now simply as that, we can just move the state inside of this function. So we can do it like this, and then we can keep everything here. Let's just rename count to value. You're going to see why. And then we can just return whatever you want. So I can say return, and then let's return the value, and let's also return an increment function. So this is going to be value plus equals 1. And then we have to create this counter. So we can say count counter. And this is an example. You would have this in another file, so you would create a .svelte.js or .svelte.ts file, and you would have the same reactivity system in those files, right? So this completely replaces the need for stores. And now we can just say count. So this is why I named it value, otherwise it would be awkward, count.count, right? And then we can say count.increment. But there's something interesting. This doesn't work. And why it is, and this isn't even related to Svelte, this is just JavaScript. We're requesting a stale value from the function, like this can be magically reactive when we request it, right? So there's a couple of things. We can return this as a function which we can invoke, so we can invoke it like this, or we can use a getter and setter in JavaScript, right? So this isn't anything specific to Svelte. And then we can say get value, and then we just return the value. That's it. So we can go here, and now it's completely reactive, as you can see. This is really simple, but this can get tedious because now you have to use getters and setters, and the Svelte team saw that problem, right? And they made proxy state, which means that your state is reactively nested by default. So here's how we can fix this, for example. And now we can go here, we can turn this into an object, and now we can say, for example, initial, and we can pass in the initial value like this, just enhancing the example, right? Nothing special. And then we don't have to even think about getters and setters anymore unless you want more control So now, because this is deeply reactive, arrays and objects are by default deeply reactive in Svelte 5, so this is just going to work as expected. And let's actually rename this value. So this is going to be value. We're going to pass the initial value. And now let's rename this to count. So this is going to be count. And now you can even destructure this and it's going to work. So we can destructure count, increment. And
let's take a look at this UI library.
As I used to post, and that's because I've spent a lot of my free time working on building out these pretty awesome, pretty powerful UI libraries or UI projects for Svelte. And so today we're going to be talking about ShadCN Svelte, Bits UI, and Melt UI, how they're unique, how they're different, how they're connected, and then also hopefully helping you decide which one you should use for your next project. So let's start off with Melt UI, which is powering Bits UI and ShadCN Svelte under the hood. And Melt is the most powerful headless UI library for Svelte that I'm aware of. I don't know of any other libraries that have the amount of components, the amount of tests, and the amount of overall customizability that Melt introduces. But unlike your traditional UI library or component library, we don't actually ship components. We have what we call builder functions, which return the necessary attributes and actions to apply the functionality to those components. And so we've tried to condense this down a bit. So as you can see, all we have to do is say use Melt, pass in the store here, or the value of that store, and it just works. Right now, under the hood, this preprocessor is actually transforming this into this. And you might be asking, why do we need this? Well, if you want your attributes to be server-side renderable or server-side rendered, then you need them to be applied directly to the element because an action only runs on the client. Therefore, if you're doing like display none or hidden and you want to like toggle something visible or not visible, if you're using an action, let's say you had the state set to open by default, it would first start out as closed and then flicker to the other state. And so that's what this gets around. Now, granted, the syntax isn't great, but it's as good as it's going to get for now. And the amount of power this unlocks is pretty immense. So for one, you might notice immediately we can use scope styles here because we don't have any components that we're worried about getting our CSS down into. We have access to all the elements. We can apply a class. We can apply Svelte transitions. We can apply Svelte animations, and then we can also apply our own custom actions in addition to the melt actions here as well. And so if you're not aware of what a collapsible looks like, this is what it looks like. Now, granted, you might think, okay, this isn't a super complex component to implement. Why don't I just do it myself? Well, we've also followed the W3 ARIA spec to a T. So we have the proper keyboard navigation for each of the different elements. We have the proper attributes. And so we've done all that research. We've spent the time to make these things right so that you don't have to do it every single time you want to start up a new project. And we want Melt to not only be able to be used by individuals on their personal projects or on their own design systems, we also want it to be able to be powering, major component libraries in the Svelte ecosystem. And so we've made a conscious effort to make sure that every possible functionality or most of our functionality is able to be overridden on an as-needed basis. And so we expose a ton of different props. If we go to something like the date picker, which has quite a bit to it, we can go through here and see all these different props that we expose for all the various things that you can use to control it pretty easily. But then if something is not exposed as a prop, we also offer many different ways to kind of take control of the behavior. And so we go into what the difference is between controlled and uncontrolled here. Basically, uncontrolled means that we're controlling the state, right? So whenever you click on that button, it's going to turn the collapsible's open state to true. When you click it again, it's going to turn it to false. In this example here, we're using a dialog. And so if we look here, we can actually straight up modify that open state that's returned from the dialog to open it. So if you wanted to programmatically open that dialog, so you wanted to trigger it based on some other state inside of the component, you can do so by setting open to true, using that store, and your state's going to reflect inside of the component. Your dialog is going to open. And so we also have something called bring your own store, or BYOS for short. And what this allows you to do is pass in your own store to the builder, and we're going to use that and update that inside of the component. So whenever you click on, the dialog's trigger, it's going to set that custom open store to true. When you close it, it's going to set it to false. And this is useful if you had some state defined higher up in the component tree. Let's say you had something in your layout that you wanted to be aware of the dialog's open state for some reason or another. Well, you just pass it down through context, add it to your dialog, and then it's going to be used inside of the builder. Now with that, you might say, okay, I don't really know if I want to just pass my state down to you guys. That's kind of, what if you guys do something I don't know you're going to do? Well, we have the change function as well, which I talked about in a previous video about stores. And what this allows you to do is basically override any of our internal decisions based on whatever condition you deem necessary. And so you can pass an on and open change prop with a change function, and it's going to get the current value. So what is the open state currently, and what are we trying to change it to inside of melt? And then you can override that by returning something different inside of this function. So you make sure you have full control over that open state. And again, it mentions this is a contrived example because it is, but it is very powerful, and we're going to talk about it more when we get to bits. So we also have custom events. So as I mentioned, in those actions here that we're using, so you can see how we say use root, what that's doing is actually grabbing that node and applying event listeners to it. And this is kind of our way of being able to spread events that Svelte 4 and below don't have the capability to do onto elements. And so with those custom events, we actually redispatch out our own melt event, which allow you to basically override that behavior. So for example, on the dialog's open button, when you click on it, guess what? It's going to open the dialog. Let's say for some reason you didn't want that to happen, not that you wouldn't, but you could just call prevent default inside of this im-click handler, and it's going to override our default click behavior. And so this leads us to Bits UI, which is a headless component library built on top of Melt UI or powered by Melt UI builders. And what I was able to do is basically take those builders and make headless components. So as you can see, if we check out the accordion, you'll see it's a more familiar component interface where you just pass in props, right? Because I know not everybody is
this stuff makes my brain hurt. I'm just like,
but it is undeniably powerful.
I listen to him talk. I just don't get what he's talking about. Yeah. Like I've seen that one, but let's see. What has everyone moved on from Svelte? HTMX. I've heard of that. Which, I mean, I guess I don't know like too much about HTMX. I think what it does is I don't know much about HTMX. I think it's like HTML. Why Golang though? What would be the point of Golang?
HTMX, a UI library for the web that can replace your JavaScript framework with the simplicity of HTML. Plain HTML is more capable than you think. Every time you click on a link or submit a form, it automatically sends an HTTP request to the server and renders the response in the UI. It's so easy, but why stop there? HTMX embraces an architectural constraint known as hypermedia as the engine of application state by adding new attributes to HTML that can handle the complex requirements of modern UIs. It gives you the ability to make a request to the server from any element by providing an attribute with an HTTP verb and the URL endpoint on the server. It'll take the response from the server and replace this element asynchronously, or it can specify a target to replace a different element on the page. It can also customize the event on which it's triggered, along with modifiers like delay and throttle to control the way the request is sent. It keeps track of the loading state so you can show a spinner, applies CSS transitions for animation, and builds on the HTML validation API to validate forms. It even has a client-side router called Boost that can make any traditional web application feel like a faster single-page application. And it also includes extensions for more advanced features like WebSockets and integrations with other HTML frameworks like Alpine. To install it, simply import HTMX in a script tag from the head of an HTML document. You just put the hyper back into hypertext. Now all you need is a server in your favorite programming language that returns HTML text as a response. Now we can use the hxGet attribute to make a request to this endpoint, along with hxSwap to replace this element with the HTML in the response. When swapping though, we don't only have the option to replace the outer HTML, but we could also append or prepend the response to the existing UI. Or the hxTarget attribute allows us to move the UI to a completely different element. It finds that element with a CSS selector, but has additional syntax like next and closest, allowing you to easily find the proper element without a bunch of custom IDs. We might also use HTMX indicator to show a loading spinner and write a CSS transition animation for the incoming element. Behind the scenes, And HTMX has an extensive event system that you can tap into by listening to custom events with JavaScript. And if you want to run your own client-side JavaScript, the HXOn attribute allows you to bind a JavaScript function to any element. And that's all it takes to build a highly polished full-stack HTML application on the information superhighway. This has been HTMX in 100 seconds. Do you love it or do you hate it? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Let's see. Video. I think I would love this no npm indicator. That's true. It's actually really fun to use. A lot of functionality. Less code than JavaScript function. Yeah, I wonder about that though. In theory, it's absolutely possible, but there's currently lacking our developer tools. Yeah. Maintainer of the project. Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting. I love the mini documentary. I mean, that wasn't a ton of information, but the 2 hours. Yeah, no, thank you. Easy, simple project. Explain with examples. Yeah, I'd be kind of curious to see how like something is put together.
Hello
with it.
and welcome. I'm Dave. Today we're introduction to HTMX today. Now let me start off by saying HTMX is point out that I'm going to use a CDN and pull in the HTMX library into our HTML
But you can do
page.
it via NPM.
However,
That's
if you're going to
interesting.
deploy an app in production, they recommend you actually download a copy like you see here on the page. So there's instructions here in the docs. Now let's go to VS Code. Okay, I'm in VS Code now, and I've got my index.html open, and this is a simple to-do CRUD application. CRUD meaning create, read, update, and delete. And anytime I'm learning something new, that's the type of application I like to create.
How do
because it
you,
walks me
where are you
through
sending it
all
to
of those
though?
HTTP
Localhost
actions
3000 to
that I would
do
normally take. And that
post
is
target to do
reading all of
list.
the to-dos, creating a new to-do, updating existing to-dos,
Uh-huh.
and possibly deleting to-dos. So now you can see here in the head section,
Yeah, but where's it going?
That HTMX library as the docs indicated. So now let's just look at the rest of the page, and it's like the simplest to-do application that I've ever created. And that's because this is all there is to it. And this is the strength of HTMX and why people like it. Now, HTMX does require a server, so it's offloading a little bit of that complexity to the back end. And you may or may not be familiar with back-end development. And if you're not, I suggest you check out my Node.js course that I have on my YouTube channel.
Or you could use Go.
And from there, you'll learn how to create a back-end that would interact with HTMX or any other type of JavaScript library or framework you might be creating an application with.
But if you wanted to
I'm
do
going to
like...
show you a little bit of what I'm using.
So yeah, but the problem with this is like, it'd be great for maybe like a simple page, but what if you wanted to build like a full website? Or is there any use for components, or is that like out the window, or is there a, have they created a framework for this yet? Like, I could see this being extremely useful as a framework. I wonder how you would do that. I don't even know if that's possible, because this is definitely a lot different from like React and stuff like that. Unless there are ways to do it. You know?
Today, it is Node.js, but it's something different as well. But first, let's look here at the front end, and you can see I've got a form, and this form has an HX post attribute.
Right, which means it's going to post. Okay, that makes sense.
To HTMX.
What's a
And it
target?
is saying post this form data to this address.
Okay.
And after that, it also has HX target. That's
Oh, that
something
must
else
update the
that is
DOM.
unique to HTMX. And that says target what you receive after submitting this form. Whatever you receive, target this element here. And notice this has the ID of to-do list. And that is what the target is set to. So when we get something back after submitting this form, we want to put it inside of this element. Notice it's an ordered list. But also notice that there's no list items here right now. That's because you need your server to send HTML, not JSON data, but HTMX expects to receive HTML. So whatever it receives, whatever type of HTML, it's going to go inside of this ordered list. So as you might expect, I'm going to have my backend server send list items, those list item elements, the LI, as a response.
Oh man, that could get a little complicated.
Also notice here the ordered list itself.
So now you're coding front end and the back end?
So GET request to this same URL, but this is a GET request, not a post request.
I mean, this part's good. I like the way that how
also
simplistic it is. Like, shit, I could even do this.
Notice this HX
but
trigger attribute.
That means half of your code's going to be like in the back end.
Trigger this GET request. It's going to get that same HTML page. I hope you're enjoying the video. You may be with JS server setup, and I'm using Hono for this. Now, I'll quickly show you that web page as well. Hono quickly allows you to set up a backend server, and I might do a separate video on that as well. So let me know in the comments if you want to see that.
Okay.
But now I'm just going to quickly go over what HTML is created on the back end and how it is sent to our HTML.
Oh my god, this looks...
So notice here I've got a helper function called get.
Yeah, this would make my head fucking this would make my like head hurt. HTML is insecure. Half of the videos is like, you know, it sucks, then it's good, then it sucks, then it's good. Make up your mind, guys. That's why web development now is a fucking nightmare. You know what I mean? Like, it really is.
Get rid of our front-end dependency Next.js and SvelteKit.
Yeah, front-end's a nightmare, dude. But like, I don't understand the
I'm gonna ask this again now that Twitch is back up. Who here's removed a big ass dependency, a whole ass thing from one of their projects? One in the chat. It feels so dang good. I absolutely love doing that. It feels so.
I don't like the idea of having to write front end code in your back end server. Like, that sounds like a fucking nightmare. You know what I mean? Then it's like you got HTML on the front, you got HTML on the back end. They got to communicate with each other. That sounds like a nightmare. You know what I mean? Like, this sounds like a nightmare.
It's no secret that modern web development has become insanely complicated.
Yeah.
And while these modern frameworks are really good at what they do, you often don't need a modern framework to get a lot of tasks done. So introducing the Goth stack. Now, the Goth stack features a very simple backend language.
I've never used Go before in my life. I don't even know what it's built on.
Templating language and HTMX for interactivity.
What do you need a template engine for? You're just I feel like templating engines confuse things even more. It's like
a code walkthrough that's going to get you set up and running with the Goth stack really quickly. So if you have a look in the description below, you'll see a link to the GitHub repository, and you can clone the Goth stack from there. So the first thing we're going to do is go through the file structure, and I'm just going to explain a little bit about why things are where they are, and as you're developing, where you're going to put your different components. Then we're going to dive into the code, and then finally, we're going to run it, and we're going to have a little demo. So the first folder that we're going to include is our CMD folder, and this is just going to include our main.go. The second folder is going to be the internal folder, and this is where you're going to do most of your work. So inside of the internal folder, we have auth. Now, auth only includes one package at the moment, and this is token auth. And token auth has some handy functions for creating a token and validating a token, and that's it. You'll notice a pattern in this file structure, and one is that you'll have the folder name, and then inside of that folder, you'll have a file with the same name, and then you're going to have some other folders inside of that folder as well. The reason that we do this is because if you have a look in this auth.go, you're just going to see an interface for the packages. So we have one package, and that's token auth, and then we have an interface for this. So this is something that's going to be repeated throughout the code base, and this is going to make it super simple for you to write tests for your features. So now whenever you have something that uses token auth, you can pass in this interface, and now you can mock it, or you can pass in a real struct. Just something that satisfies this interface, and that's going to be very simple for you to then test that. The next folder is going to be our handlers, and these are our HTTP handlers. So these are going to be the handlers that handle all of the requests to the application.
In
so the
each
files
file?
are prefixed
Oh,
with
God.
their method. So you'll see here, this is get about, and then we have post.
I don't know how I feel
So the
about
reason that I've
that.
done this is because there's two different scenarios in terms of HTTP here. One
Template
is
layout
I
on my
just want to
website.
make a request.
Yeah,
to
I
the
don't know.
homepage, and I want
I
to
don't think I would
render
like
a layout.
HTMX. I just
Then the other,
like the idea of it makes sense until you realize half of your code's got to be, or some of the code's got to be written in the back end. That just sounds like a nightmare. It just does. I mean, if there was a way to set, why not just pull the data and send it to the front end? Why not? If you could do it somehow without having to like code the code in the back, you know what I mean? Like, then I could see a use for it, but oof, yeah. But yeah, front end's a nightmare. So that's what I think things like Svelte and stuff like that, they'll be fine. All right, guys, I gotta run to the bathroom. I'll be right back, and then we'll, I think what we're gonna do is just try to build a CRUD app with SvelteKit, so, and Tailwind. Oh, God. So I'll be right back.
Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. I hate all this overthinking. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started. Get me out of now. To where we started. Get me out of now. To where we started. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights, turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly. And I tell myself it's fine to be alone, just to find somewhere that
All right, I'm back.
feels like home.
All right. Oh God, I don't have enough room to. Oh, I need a bigger room. All right. Let's see. What's the best way to do this? Let's see. So we're gonna need to. I don't really want to use Tailwind, but it's gonna be. You gotta learn it, man. You gotta learn it. Okay. Let's see. SvelteKit and Tailwind. Alright, so if we look over here, let me open this up. Clear CD. That's projects. Oh my God, what are you doing, dude? CDs, SvelteKit, clear. Okay, ls. Alright, so we need to create a new. So we're gonna go npm create, and then we're gonna do svelte at. Is it just Svelte, or where's the kit come in? Or is that how you do the latest? Hold on, introduction. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Alright, so we're doing Svelte at latest. And then we'll call it I'll just say to do. Okay. Alright, let's see. Showcase some of the features. Play a guessing game that works with JavaScript. Skeleton library, boneless scaffolding, and then bare bones scaffolding for your new Svelte library. Okay, well, we're not doing a library project, so we'll do that one. Using JavaScript with js.comments. I don't know what that is. Using TypeScript. I don't think so. We'll click no. ESLint for prettier code formatting. That part I don't know about. Like, is that on the... Formatting standards and prettier can also make your code more unified, which makes it easier. Hey, Bio, how's it going? Good morning. Try Svelte 5 preview unstable. Wait, are we not on 5 yet? Oh, we're probably on 4. For browser testing. I don't even know if I need that. Getting back in. I am. I wonder if I need to add Playwright for browser testing. I don't know what that is. Add Vite test for unit testing. I think prettier will be fine. Yeah, okay. We'll just select that as well. All right. And then we're going to do CD. Let's see. To do. npm install. And then npm run dev open. All right, so that's done. Now we need to install Tailwind. Do we just do both? I think Playwright is the updated version of Puppeteer. I've never heard of Puppeteer. What is that? Copy, paste. Okay, we're going to do Tailwind npx init p. Okay. Alright, then we're going to do npm install just to make sure we're up to date. Alright, then we're going to do ls code. Alright, perfect. So we need to go to Tailwind config. And we need to go, no, we need to go to Svelte config. Okay. And then we're going to add in, right here. Process. Vite plugin. Okay. Config. Then we're going to add in processors. Let's see, where do I add that? Config and then adapter. Comma after that right here. Save, okay. Perfect. And then configure your template paths. All right, so we're gonna go to content, Tailwind, just right here, and then extend content. Oh, it goes inside of content. So I'll just replace content. Okay, that's done. Copy. Then go to source app.css. All right, so we gotta go source, create a new file called app.css, and then we're pasting that in there. Okay, and then import the CSS file. Go to your layout.svelte. Okay, so we're gonna go to routes. So we don't have that page yet. Oh, no, hold on. Yeah, we don't. So let's create a layouts file. Okay, so we're gonna go file, new, and then we're gonna call it plus, and then it's layout.svelte. All right, perfect. Svelte now contains a script plugin. Enabling this will provide sure, you can enable the plugin, whatever. All right, so then we're gonna do script import slot. Okay, perfect. Save. All right, and then we're gonna be doing start using Tailwind page. Okay, let's open up our page. Save. All right. Now, one thing I am curious about is this npm run dev open. What that? Oh, that must open up the tab for you. I bet that's what that does. Yep, that does. Okay, cool. And then here we go, right there. All right, perfect. So seems to work. Give me a second, guys. Oh, chat. Hold on. Interesting. Let's see. All right. So we have Tailwind installed now. I've heard that Svelte is the new hot mess, but I'm happy and other frames work now. Hope you're doing. Wait, it's a hot mess? What's that mean? Oh, the hotness. Oh, I thought you said it was a hot mess, and I was like, great. What's wrong with it? Okay, no. You scared me there for a second. Yeah, I'm just giving it a go, see what it's about. Alright, so we have that working. Alright, so that's good. So what we need to do is figure out what we're gonna do. Alright, so our page, then layout. So layout is, I don't think we really need to do anything about layout. I think we can just leave it alone. Unless we're gonna add in, yeah, because we don't want to affect the entire layout. So, although in layout, if I add in, I could do this header, and then if I come down here and do footer, save, and then I come over to my page, we should see that. Okay, so we'll want to template out the header and the footer in this file, since we want the header and footer to be a part of all content. So that we will do. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. So we're gonna come over here, and I believe, I can't remember. Okay, so routes is the pages, and then we want to create a library. Okay, then we want to create a new folder called components. Components. Spell that right? Components. Yeah. And we're going to build a... Is it plus? I think. Yeah. Okay. And then we call it... And we must uppercase it. So it's header.svelte. I think. Is that how you do it? Is that how you create a header file? Creating a header. Maybe Grok can help me with this. Do I still have access to Grok? I do. Let's see, Grok. Grok anything. Wait, do I still have Twitter? When's my plan run out? Hold on, profile. I had to cancel all kinds of shit. Profile. Verified or monetization settings. Premium. Manage. Expiring soon. Okay, cool. I still have access Grok. Do you know how I can create a header SvelteKit file? Creating a header SvelteKit is simple and straightforward. Here's a step-by-step. Create a new file called layouts. Okay, I've already done that. Create components. Navbar. Does the file in the components have to have a plus before the name? Question mark. No, the file in the components folder does not have to have a plus before the name. The plus prefixes in SvelteKit to denote special files such as layout, error pages, and the roots. For example, layout and error are special files that have specific roles in the SvelteKit project. Files inside of the... Oh, wait, are you supposed to put that in the libs? Oh, okay, hold on. Let me move this into the... Apparently components goes into the library folder. I think. I guess that would make sense, right? Lib components. Gotcha. In this example, the homepage layout Svelte is the main layout. Blog slug is dynamic route for individuals. Error. Interesting. Svelte. Components are only used with a single route. Yeah, but where do you put them? Your library contains your library code, utilities, and components. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Damn, look at Grok go, man. I gotta say, man, since Grok can actually access up-to-date information, it's useful. That's what I hate about ChatGPT. Is you are extremely limited on when it's been last updated, and that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like, if it can't access the most recent data, how does it know? You know what I mean? It's just like, oh well, I was updated like 5 months ago. Okay, well, great. So anything can happen from, every day. Tomorrow they could come up with an update for something, but AI isn't gonna know about it. I wonder if that's the same with Bard or whatever Google's AI is. Does that have updated info, or is that still not connected to the internet? I don't know how that works. Interesting. And has anyone tried Claude yet? I keep hearing about this thing called Claude. I hear it's really powerful. Okay. So it looks like Gemini is able to get the most recent up-to-date. Let me try what's the best way to create a header file in SvelteKit? Layout, source layouts directory. Okay, interesting. Aw.
The stuff leading up to this, the TikToks, the YouTube.
All right, we gotta watch this, guys.
The stuff that you do outside of this, you should be getting paid for those efforts too. And I feel like KCIP does that, right? I feel like, oh wow, if I drive viewers to this platform, I'm going to get paid at the end of the day for my efforts, and I'm going to see a deliberate jump when I'm restreaming to TikTok or I'm restreaming to Instagram, which you are allowed to do under this program.
Oh, that's good.
And drive viewers here.
Nice.
The people who have
Hey,
gotten
we read.
a hold of
How's it
that
going?
TikTok
Question why
algorithm, or
Svelte?
even the
Just curious,
Instagram
not judging.
algorithm, for that matter,
I wanted to give it a try.
are blowing it out of the water.
I heard a
So
lot of good things about it, so I
hope
wanted to learn
I
it.
hope I expanded on your question a little. All right, let's see more. Who do I talk to about Kick app? For some reason, it would say people are live but offline too. You talk to support@kick.com. So I'm gonna dig out more KCIP questions, right? Brokowski, KCIP is end of the year is my goal. That's a good goal. Look, Brokowski, I think you can make it there sooner with the way that this thing's blowing up. Signups have been popping off. People have been asking a lot more questions.
You might be right about that. I just think it's still kind of new. You know what I mean?
If you are a YouTube or Twitch or Facebook partner, the best advice I can give is get in here, fire up, because if you have a strong community, you'll hit these metrics relatively quickly, especially if you can wield your community.
Yeah, it's the hard part, getting everyone to move
We're
to
not
Kick.
giving out handouts. We're not like, those days were like 6 months ago to entice people to come over. Right now, this is like legit. It's like, if you're a Twitch streamer with 30,000 followers and you're averaging, 500 CCV, there's no reason why you can't come over here and just pump out the metrics and get in. That way we get to know who you are. The Kick community gets to know who you are. You get to know who Kick is. You can come over and realize that there's a lot of great people here, and just build your community. And then on the flip side, if you're if you're from Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook, and you're thinking about coming over, and you're a relatively smaller streamer where you're doing 50, 60, 70, CCV,
60,
you can
70.
realize your potential.
That ain't happening.
Like there's something here. This is the standard. KCIP is now the standard in the industry to work towards. All right, let's see. Please, Andrew, April Fool's me. Girth Gorilla, what's up? Good to see you in here, man. Good to see you in here, man. I hope the truck is doing good. I always enjoy those streams, especially like crazy early in the morning when you're driving through like towns where like the roads are dead. Guys, if you haven't caught Girthy Gorilla, he's an OG here. He does a lot of trucking streams, but he was also a former cage fighter. And the guy's huge. The guy's fists are like the size of my noggin. But he's a really genuine guy, and he gets in the mix. He's done some collabs with like Ammo and Ice Poseidon.
I mean, there's a few jobs for it right now. There's a few companies hiring for SvelteKit developers.
Ruby Red, I love the transparency people have had on X about their earnings and what it takes to get there. Yeah, look.
Damn.
No one is forcing people to post these. I think that Hey It's Rough posted it, and it just opened up the floodgates. And
Some of these are
I'm
nuts,
just going
man.
through and I'm just collecting
like,
everyone's
some people are
metrics.
making like not the average, but like the top 1% are making like $8,000, $6,000, $4,000, but the average is in the hundreds. I mean, look, that one's only 15.
All right, what is the real deal? Like someone like Panda Skills who works a 9 to 5, he only streams 3 times a week. You have people like.
I mean, this is like extra money though. Like this is really helpful to a lot of people.
Who also has a 9 to 5. He's a police officer, and he's really looking at this thing that's being like, hey, I'm going to gradually and do this the smart way, right? Same with Panda Skills, and then you have people like Hey It's Rough that that has been working for 3.5 years to be able to do this at a very high level and
like that's
and rely on this a little
$4,000
more. You know, same thing
on
with
top
BBJS.
of whatever
BBJS is
he's
a little
getting
more
for
strategic.
subs, on
BBJS
top of
BBJS
whatever.
has her,
You know what I mean?
Her hands in a lot of different cookie jars, right? She's on Twitch, she's on Kick, she's on TikTok. She just made like a YouTube partner. Like she's killing it on different platforms. What we hope to do is to entice a streamer like this to bring all her viewers here to Kick because we feel that we have the best splits, you know? All right, more questions. It's their own finances, as long as they are not under the contract to not say. All it does is motivate creators more with transparency. Joe Flicks, okay, here's the other thing. There's not like some magical contract that people sign. What it is that you meet the metrics, we reach back out to you and we say, hey, if you agree to these terms, we're going to enable KCIP. It isn't like this 6-page contract where you sell your soul and you can only exclusively play one game, or you have to turn a ton, or you have to post the X amount of
As soon as you
tweets, or
sign.
you have to do all these other things.
Oh,
It's
shit.
not like that. Joe Flicks, full transparency, agents and managers are going to absolutely hate this program.
Yeah, they don't get
They're going
their
to
hand in the
absolutely
cookie jar.
hate this program. Because can you imagine getting in the middle of something so easy to grind to? For
Managers and agents are really good if you want like brand deals and stuff like that. If you don't know how to do it yourself, but like this, there's no need for an agent, so they're not going to get a cut of your money.
KCIP pay and taking their percentage is
Fuck
bonkers.
that. Yeah.
So this program is going to change the game in more than
like I
one
said,
way.
I think the tough part about this
Internally from
program
an
is it's just
industry
getting into the
standpoint,
program.
right? Because
You just got to have those metrics, you know
really
what I mean, and
high-level
then apply
creators
for
can
it.
say, hey, I'm going to come over here and instantly qualify for this program. I don't have to give 20% to my I don't have to give 20% to my my agent.
20%?
I don't have to give 20% to the platform
damn.
or whatever split.
20%?
I get to keep 95%.
Fuck that.
Of the subs. This is something
Holy
else,
shit,
right?
I thought it was
so
only
people start talking
10%.
about taxes, right? They're like, well, this doesn't include taxes. Yeah, like you're a grown adult. You have to track your own taxes.
Yeah, you better
in this
pay those
program,
fucking
like any other
taxes.
program. You should be setting
Make a spreadsheet.
setting aside a percentage
Yep.
to be able
Put
to
it in
pay
a
your
savings
taxes
account
at the
or an
end of the year,
interest
or
on your
consult with
fucking-
tax professional and how to tackle this.
Literally, there's like
But on top of taxes,
there's
like, if you have an agent or manager,
there's literally websites that will tell you what you should put away
Right.
or recommended for it's like talent.com or something like that. It'll tell you like, okay, if you made $5,000 in money given to you by work you've done, you should set aside X amount of money.
an agent or
I mean,
manager
granted,
on
it's
your
just
side, like you're going to be at
a recommendation, but you know, I mean, it should be pretty decent.
You can start negotiating.
But I mean, unless you're like crazy spending money, you should, even if it's off by a little bit, you should still be covered. Plus, you can do deductibles and write-offs and all that stuff. But this is the thing I like about Kick that a lot of sites do not do is these guys will stream and answer questions from creators. That's why I wanted to watch this. Every time Andrew goes live, I'm always like, I gotta watch it. I'm stopping what I'm doing because I need to watch it. Because this is how we find out information about what Kick is doing.
Yeah, that could be life-changing for some people.
Yeah, it really is. A lot of this money is like $1,292 a month on top of whatever you're making already. That's great,
set a
you know.
goal like Panda Skills and say, okay, if I'm streaming 3 times a week and I'm making this kind of money, how many times a week do I have to stream? How many hours? At what rate do I need to keep this up at? It gives them a goal to shoot for. That can be life-changing. I posted in one of my earlier tweets about autonomy. If you work hard and you grind towards this and you learn how to strategize, this brings a lot of autonomy. Depending on what your level of living is and what your quality of life is. Look, if you require 3 massive car payments and a mansion and you know,
I only have
like
one
blow
major
$5,000
car payment
a month,
and that's
traveling, like, you know, it's gonna, this isn't sustainable.
I mean, that would cover
say
my car payment. You
barely
kidding me?
any
This would be
job
more
is
than enough
going
to cover
be
my insurance
sustainable.
and my
You're
car
gonna be
payment. That'd be great.
10%
Dude, an extra
entertainers in the world
$1,000 on
that
top
are,
of like whatever you're making would
you
be
know,
great. That's like
breaking in,
groceries.
you know, a
That's your
high
health
seven-figure,
insurance.
like,
That's your
salary. But
car
for the average
payment, car
person,
insurance. I
feel
mean,
like
yeah.
this program can help people strategize to get where they want to go.
But the problem
It
is like,
makes you grow up. It makes you grow up. It makes you really look at things.
oh,
All right. They just wanted to
hold
show
on.
how good the KCIP
Might be
is
about
and
her
their
job.
experience with it behind all the shit talk about it. Yeah. Don't worry about that. You know, I would, whoever shit talking about this, like, just, that's why I made this thread. Come to the source. Come to the people who are actually experiencing it. You know, if you hear someone shit talking, just say, "Are you in KCIP?" And if the answer is no,
hey there, take a look at
but if the
these
answer
two
is
senior
yes, like,
administrative executives.
value in what it is that they're saying, right? All right. Aquatic, can I ask a question? I've been grinding every day, 3 to 5 hours after work every day.
Apply
chasing
today for the
verification
next.
KCIP.
Oh, okay, never
Do you
mind.
think it would
Alright,
be
I thought this
smarter
was
for
a
me
job
to
thing.
stream less
Wait,
a
who did
week
this come
and less
from?
hours a day to try and get the CCV to
Oh,
actually
yeah,
reflect bigger
recruiters.
numbers? Because even if I
Damn,
get 75
that
for an
sucks.
hour, then 25 for the next 2 hours, the metrics will be off. Or should I just keep doing me and just going the same? Thank you. Aquatic, I think you answered your own question in here. But you also tempered it by saying, or should I just keep doing me and just keep going the same?
I mean,
You should always do you.
yeah, but if you're doing you and you're not
You should
making any
also
growth
understand
improvement
the
over
different
like
sides of
3 to 4 to 6 months, maybe it's time to change
like
things
to
up a
think
little
that if
bit.
you're
But
doing
like
this at a
I'll
high
admit,
level, Aquatic,
for me, my number one problem is
need
I
to
just go
start
live.
talking to the
That is
business
my
side of you,
biggest
right?
issue.
the business side of you.
Yeah,
in
I
my
don't utilize
opinion,
YouTube,
and what I would
TikTok,
advise that
Instagram. I
side
mean,
of
I do a
you
little bit, but not
is,
at the level I
yes,
should be. If you look at most
for
like
3 hours,
successful like content
for
or
the other 2
streamers and
hours,
content
game plan
creators,
what it is
the
you're
reason
trying
they're
to do. So if
successful
you're
is
gonna go in and you're
they
gonna stream
utilize
5
all
hours,
these tools that they have: Twitter
stream only
or
3,
X, whatever you
the
want to
other
call
2
it,
hours, force
TikTok,
yourself to sit down,
all of these, especially YouTube. YouTube
Get a
is extremely
whiteboard,
powerful when it comes to
get a
videos.
whiteboard,
My problem is
plan
I just go,
out
all
your
right, I'm ready to go
stream,
live,
plan out
click,
your
go live, and then I'm done.
plan
You know what
out
I
the
mean?
clips,
So
plan out the things
yeah,
that
the
you
growth is
farm,
extremely
plan
small.
out the topic,
Now, if you're out there
take
utilizing
your stream for the
TikTok,
previous day, make
YouTube,
clips out of it,
Instagram,
make
all these other
montage,
platforms,
put
then
it
the
out on
growth starts
TikTok,
to like jump
start
up
making
because then people know
billboards
who
on
you
other
are.
platforms
People that
to
are
bring people
interested
over
are like,
to
oh
Tik so
shit,
that they can
I watched
see
that
the
video he
video
did.
then
I want to learn more, or I want
that's
to
what
watch
I
him
would do if I
live.
was
You know what I mean?
Um,
Or her live, whatever.
I would spend 2 hours
yeah.
figuring that out.
That's where I definitely
I'm going to take it a
struggle.
step further. I would only stream for 2 hours out of the 5. I
Mm-hmm.
would spend 1 hour in complete effing silence
No, I can't do that. I talk too much.
and just sit with your thoughts and clear your effing mind.
Yeah, it's a good
And
idea
get
though.
rid of the noise.
Yeah.
Guys, look, I'm old and I came up in a time where there was no social media, there were no smartphones, but bam, like when I start hitting my like
good
16,
days.
17, 18, smartphones started coming out, social media started ramping up, and the noise started to come in. And I think my generation is the one generation who remembered life with it and remembers life without it.
All right, I'm gonna
And
move him
there's
over
balance there.
here.
So I would spend 1 hour just with you.
All right, so it looks like we don't need to add that
reflecting on
plus
you.
in there. I don't think we do. Let
If
me-
you're talking about like, should I keep doing the same thing or just be me? There's nothing better than self-reflection. So spend 1 hour in self-reflection, spend 2 hours in game planning, and I think that you're going to see massive results. Now the other thing is, yes, look, if you start saying
Okay,
if you're
yeah, I
grinding towards verification, you
perfect.
owe us nothing. Simulcast to TikTok, simulcast to Twitter, simulcast to Instagram, simulcast to Twitch, simulcast to YouTube. Bring people.
That's what I'm
over
doing.
and
We're on
start
all
hitting those
platforms right
metrics,
now.
All right, so that you can get verified and you
Wait.
can start grinding the KCIP. Until someone put something in front of you that you agree.
Yeah, like
to,
a contract.
You don't owe anyone anything.
Exactly.
You owe it all to your brand. So I hope I answered your question there. Oh yeah, and also like, yeah, look, if you hit your peak CCV and you see
Is it-
yourself
what's
sliding
that?
off, there's nothing wrong with ending your stream a little early so you can maintain that CCV.
I think is that the way to
I
export
think
it?
that's a no-brainer.
Shit, I should have left that other thing open as a reference. New window.
I hope I answered your question.
See,
All right. Are KCIP's creators obliged to post their income, or is it at their own discretion if they're comfortable with it? One Delta Street. This is not a campaign. This is not a campaign. This is not
import
in a
main
contract
from.
saying that they have to post or not post or blah blah blah. Everything we do here at Kick is community led. You know, Ruff just was the first person to post. He put it out there. He came to us to do it, right?
Export let. Okay, so you do export let. Wait, so you don't need to export the header? Then how do you import the header component?
So no, I want to make it absolutely
Because that's what we
clear.
want to do is this
Look,
header.
guys, everything from Black History Month to
Footer layout.
the first
Hold on,
class,
let me go to main.
talking about their experiences, you know, to hey, it's rough
Import
posting this. Like, you guys are
step.
grown ass adults.
It's got to be in the layout then, right?
You're grown adults.
Where's the layout? There's page. Layout.
No, the short answer is no. We didn't.
Right, okay, so in the layout we
Like, if
import.
people don't
Okay,
wanna
okay,
post-
that makes
Look,
sense.
think
All right,
about
I'm going
this,
to move
like,
this over
There's
here.
177 people who got in this program relatively
Okay, so
early.
that makes
Phase 1,
sense
2,
to
and
do.
3,
So
and
we're
the
going to
44
save.
beta testers,
And then for this,
you
I'll
know?
just come down here and type header, save. That's
Think
not how you
about
spell
the amount of
header. Let
people
me try
who
that again.
posted
Oh my god,
this.
spell header correctly,
I mean,
dude.
there's like
There we
maybe
go.
20, maybe
All right,
30.
and then
yeah,
we're
not
going to go to
everyone's
layout, and then we're going to come up
comfortable
here,
sharing,
and we're going to do
right? You know, income's their income.
import.
And we did not
What's the best?
send out a mass email saying, "Hey guys,
Right.
hey, it's rough posted."
Did I call it
everyone
header?
needs to follow
I think I
suit.
did. Yes. Okay, so import
something to think about. So good
header
question, Wendell.
from,
Thank you.
and then we need
All
to
right,
go.
moving on,
We're in the
moving on.
route, so we're gonna back
Watching
out
the
twice. We're gonna go lib,
Conservative
or
heads
we're gonna
pop
go
up
to
or Hassan to kick announcement has been so pleasurable. Tickle buddies.
source.
Hey, listen.
So it's lib, right?
I'll get to the Hassan stuff a little later.
Components.
Right now, I'm focusing on
Header.
KCIP, but I will
Save.
I will try to touch on
Wait,
Hassan.
was that real?
All right, let's see.
There ain't no way that was real.
Oh wow, I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff. Zatroza, thank you for the follow. Moss Green Mouse, thank you for the follow. Sizzle, thank you for the follow. Juggernaut,
Save.
what's up? Good to see
Why
you.
is that giving me an
Juggernaut
error?
was part of our phase 3.
Already included
No,
file
Juggernaut was
name.
one of our beta testers.
What do you mean?
Good to see you in here, man.
Import header
Really
from
appreciate you following
components.
me. Chef
Header.
Gorilla, thank you for the follow. Ramrod, Jake,
Differs from the
thank you for
file
follow.
name.
All right, I'm gonna keep digging through these questions.
Header.svelte.
Jadum, I think people see it
Components.
like an actual job where people think it's a negative to talk about how much they get paid. Jadum, that's a good comment. Like just the way I was
Layout
talking
is
about
in
how this is going to
routes like
change
that
culture
is. So
with
we're
agents and
backing up
managers.
to components library.
I agree with you. I think
We're in routes. We're going to
look, back in the day, you were going to get it.
Lib.
Now you get a contract where you cannot talk with fellow coworkers about what it is you're making.
Why is that
I
giving
think
me
we're
an
just in different
error,
times
an issue?
slightly. I think
That
it's
doesn't make sense. Import header.
as soon as you start applying to a job, where do you go? You
Hey,
go to
Mike,
Reddit
how's it
to
going,
see what
dude?
the lowdown is. You go to Blind to see what the lowdown is. You go to Quora to see what the lowdown is. about
How's
a
it
certain
going, dude?
company that you're thinking about going to. Hell, there's probably things on Blind about me. I know that there are. I've written stuff up on Quora about my experiences at different jobs. I think the generations coming up after Generation X have just experienced a level of transparency.
That's going pretty
online
good.
that's
Just trying to
unprecedented.
figure out why this isn't working
So
though.
I think you're right. I think it's just a preference,
Save
right?
header.
And how people were raised. Let's see. Joe Flicks. The more people see the pay ranges and amounts depend on you and your community.
Wait,
the
do
more
I not need
reasons
to
it is to
export
switch over and
header?
Work harder. I agree. I think that's why it's so important that this has come
Oh
out.
no, I don't.
So many different creators, so many
Header.
different people.
Oh,
many
okay, so I
different
don't need to
lifestyles.
export. Right, because I
Very
don't
early
I don't
on,
need to
when
do an
people were
export
like,
because I'm
"Hey,
not
what's the
getting
hourly rate?"
data
I'm
in
like,
from
there
anywhere.
is no hourly rate. There's,
Okay, so I can get rid
there's
of
no
that.
specific
Save.
metric. There's no specific like
Layout. But
tier
this
system.
is giving me an
It really
error.
is dependent on
Do you have
your
the
work
directory
ethic and
extension
what
for
you
VS
put it in,
Code?
putting in. What I can guarantee
No,
you
not that I
is
know of.
wherever you started, And if you climb higher in terms of metrics, you're going to make more
Do you
money.
mean this one? Directory files?
The lower you go in those metrics, the less money that you're going to make. Jay-Z Kanji's, yo, you see my DMs.
Show the files in the directory relative.
Jay-Z
current
Kanji's, I'm
open
assuming that's
file.
through Discord. I've not checked Discord yet. I try to get away from the tech over the holiday weekend. If you DM me over the holiday weekend, I've not dove into those. I'm going to dive into that after this stream, and start checking the Discord. So I will get to your DM. Thanks for the heads up, though. All right, it's just Danny. I believe that all streamers that are showing their stats on KCIP is awesome for us smaller creators to see what they can achieve. Getting grief. I also seen a lot of people getting grief over it, and some call it flexing. I don't believe it's called flexing. I call it inspiring, Santa Maria.
Oh yeah, I have a path intelligence.
Your journey. Again, our intentions is not to have haves and haves not scenario. What
right
these
here.
intentions are.
I have it installed.
Sharing all this is to inform your journey and how to get into KCIP.
Already included file name, users project to do, lib components header differs from file name.
Son's WS Custom Creations. You have Emil Trzgalski in this.
Why
you have
does
JX
it like
Gaming.
that?
I mean,
only in case in the
only thing that these
file
guys
is
all
in
have
the
in common
program
is that
because
they roll up their
import
sleeves
via
and they grind.
file. This fucking
That's it.
differs. What do you mean it differs? Already included
And
file
anyone who's
name.
hating on them, like,
Does that mean it already has it coming
get
to
it.
it?
but you know what?
Might be. Hold on,
Sit
let me
and
look at
self-reflect.
page.
You know, is it worth like bashing or complaining,
Okay, that's not
or is
it.
it just time to get to work? And then I'll have
Better
an honest
comments
conversation
bracket.
with you one-on-one about your content. I think that's another really thing hard to do.
Bracket, yeah, I have those.
Look,
Better comments, I don't
my own
have.
experience.
Why is that giving me an error?
I
Import
thought
header
at one
from.
point I was going to play professional soccer for the rest of my life. There was a time in high school and going into college.
There's header.
Where I thought
page.
I was going to be playing professional soccer coming out. I was around soccer my entire life. But I had to have like a really honest conversation with myself that I'm a bench player. I'm a utility player.
Why isn't this
I was a guy who
working?
played striker and I played midfield. and
Import
I played
header
sweeper.
from. I don't get it. Does it not like the library? Like,
just didn't
what the
have a
fuck's the issue? Oh, you know what I bet it is? I bet it's this.
I had to have a really tough conversation with myself.
Well, no, we're
in
backing out.
my
We're not in the
early
same
20s
file,
and
so you
just
would
be like,
back out lib/components.
You did this at a high level. You ain't
Right,
gonna
okay,
make it
if-
like you're
hold
not
on.
like, you know.
Okay. This doesn't make any sense. If I'm in library or routes, right, and I'm backing up to the source folder, that's what that double is, and I'm saying go to lib, go to components, and then grab the file. Why is it giving me an issue? It doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Do I need to get rid of this? And now it worked. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Why would that make any sense? This file is not in this. This doesn't make any sense. Right, exactly. Of course it failed. Right. Maybe this thing's full of shit. I think this thing's full of shit, though, the error message is giving. Yeah, it's full of shit. This shouldn't even be erroring out. This thing's full of shit. I don't even know why it's fucking erroring out. Already included file name. Alright, well, you're full of shit. Sorry, bro. Don't know what to tell you. It's stupid. Gives me an error for no reason. That's not even a real error. It's not even a real error. It's clearly working. Headers pulling in. Bullshit, dude. Whatever. Import footer from. It's gonna be the same bullshit again. Components. Footer svelte. Oh no, didn't give me an issue there, did it? Footer dot svelte. Footer save. Save. Oh geez, didn't give me an error there. How come? Although I wonder what happens if I like get rid of that. Yeah, how come that doesn't give me an issue? See what I mean? It doesn't even make sense, dude. Alright. Not that this error message is really going to tell me anything, but I'm just out of curiosity. Wait, oh, there's more. Yeah, explain the problem. Please explain the problem. The error you're incurring is due to a case sensitivity issue in the file system. In some file systems, such as macOS, file names are case sensitive. That means that the header.svelte and header svelte are not wait, hold on. Is that still uppercased? No, it's not. Okay, I think I need to close this file. I think it's like a cached issue. Yeah, it's because I changed the file name, so it's cached. I bet that's the issue. So if I open up layout again. Are you having some okay. Save. 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 What? I don't understand, dude. There is no uppercase S. What is it talking about, man? Unless I spelled... Did I spell it wrong? No, it's spelled right. What if I just did this and went like header? Okay, so that's fine. Now let me do dot SVELTE save. Save. Not footer. I meant header. Save. Okay, it was I don't know what the deal. I think it was some cached issue. Yeah, it was some weird like fucking cached issue. I'm sitting there going, listen, I might not be a smart coder, I assure you, but I know what I'm doing on this, on at least enough to yeah. Good old VS Code problems. That is very true. God, it's so frustrating sometimes. You're just like, why don't you just work? Hold on, give me a second. Oh. Oh shit, hold on. Request. Okay, perfect. Okay, cool. All right, there. So we got that done. So layout sends data to so page is the main page, right? I think. Well, how do we do the tutorial? All right, so yesterday's tutorial, we don't need footer, we don't need the header. Step as a component. Okay, so here was the layout. Header, footer, slot. Okay. Bind window. Okay, so this was for the div class. Okay, so this was for the body, I think. Right? And then page. What was page for? Okay, so page is the first route that it goes to. Okay, so we're gonna feed in And then main was another. Main was a page component that had all the stuff on it. Seems like a lot of extra shit for no reason, right? I guess so. But if... Shouldn't page be the... So page is the entry. Entry point. I mean... Do we really need a whole page just for the main page? I guess so. I guess that would make sense because that's the entry. So I guess main could be considered in React. Alright. So I guess we'll make a mains component as well. Oh my goodness. Alright. So let's do new file. Well, that really doesn't make any sense. I don't think we really need to do that. Because our page is main, right? The routes. Hold on. Creating where's Grok? Twitter. Grok. How to create an about me page in SvelteKit. Okay, let's see. Straightforward process. Creating the routes file. Inside the folder, create a new file called index.svelte. I don't think that's the correct way to do it, right? Hold on. How to create pages in SvelteKit. Page options docs. Page.js, page server. Oh god. File and folder. What would be called? File and folder. Oh, fuck, I'm drawing a blank on the name. Come on, dude. Structure? Yeah. Structure in SvelteKit. Alright, so source routes. Yeah, but routes contains route for your app. So would you, so if you wanted to do, let's see. See, what would be the best way to do this? So if we did, page would be our default, right? So we could include the header and okay, so we want to make the header first. So we'll make those, and then if I create a, but do you need to, hold on, I want to try something. If I do, I don't know why it does that. It's so weird. About.svelte. Alright, so if I go about page, save, and then if I come over here and I do about page not found, see what I mean? So why didn't that work? Do you got to do plus and then the name of it? How that works? No. Okay. So it doesn't like that. Why? I thought the routes is where you build your page. I'm so fucking confused. This doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. Why wouldn't that work? God, this doesn't make any sense. Creating data, creating pages. Yeah, how do you create them? Where do you put them? I started learning Svelte. No, is there any way to get her? Wait a minute. If you wanted to create multi-page application, you have to make a folder for each different page and put the plus page Svelte in it. But where do I... Okay. The idea is that each folder isn't... And okay, so I need to make a... Okay, so I go to routes. And then I do new folder. And I'm going to put about. And then I think I drop that in here. Oh, but you do plus. Okay. Rename. No, don't put a bro. Dude. Alright. Let's try that. Bro, is there any document? There's gotta be fucking documentation. Hold on. SvelteKit. Oh my god, why can't I just be a fucking smart developer like everybody else? You can change the routes. Page.svelte. A component defines your page of your app. By default, pages are rendered both on your server. Routes page.title. Routes about. Okay. Wait, so you have to call that one page as well. Oh. Oh, I don't like that naming process, but okay. I see. Plus, and then you gotta do it again. Page dot, okay. Now if I go here, it's gonna render. Sort of. Prefixes are reserved. About. I didn't put that there, though. What do you... About. Page.svelte. Right. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Header, about, page, footer. But that's not taking the same format as... Hold on, page. Layout. How come the... Is that not slotting? That's strange. Because if we go to the home page, or if we go to the entry page, right? Hello world. Unless the H1. Here, let me try this. Entry page save. Oh, okay, cool. All right, so that is working. Okay, so what we need to do is build out the header and footer. Okay, so this is how you actually create your pages. Okay, this is good. Okay, cool. Now that makes sense. Whew, I was a little confused there, but now that makes sense. I don't like the naming convention. I already see what people said earlier, how like if you have multiple pages and stuff like that, it's all gonna be called page.svelte. So okay, I can see where that's a problem. But okay, now it makes more sense. Because I was confused. I was like, wait a minute, what the hell? Alright. Alright, let's see. entry page. Okay, so what we need to do is go to the layout. All right, so what we'll do is let's go ahead and because we just need this to be a simple. Well, we really don't need a pages. Just a to-do. All right, so we really don't need that page. My bad, because we're not building a website. We're just building a SPA, sort of. Okay, so how do we do this? We have multiple page elements. Well, how do I switch the state over? Maybe it would make sense. So if I did add, that would be its own page, right? That would make sense. Delete, well, that wouldn't be its own page. So add would have a form. I mean, we could do it all in one, but I think it would be a little bit different. Let me think of the best way to do this. So if we're doing a to-do list, right? Let's see. What would you suggest? Do we do it in components, or do we do it in its own pages? Like, do we have an add page, or do we just make a component? But where would we put that component? Oh, I have an idea. Okay, so you could do the form at the top and then have the items listed out below. And then just put the options there. That would probably work. And then use a ternary on state management. Okay. That's how. Good talk. I think I have an idea of how I'm going to do this. Alright. So what we'll do is we'll have our page here. And I'll just have this as the entry page. I'm not going to do a main. That makes no sense. Alright. So we'll build out the header, which will be very simplistic. This is where, all right, so we need to do components, sign in. I don't think I'm registered. Get access. Oh God, why do I have to be poor? I can't afford to pay for that. Never mind. Oh, I should have bought all this shit when I had a job. All right, template screenshots, Tailwind. Quick search. Header. Let's see, support center. Create with the background. Get code. Every time, like, how do you figure out how to make, like, simple, elegant? How does this work? Docs, easy. Layout, container, columns, overflow, flex direction, spacing. How do we make a so what I want to do is create a... Alright, so let's go to the header file, right? Okay. And then let's do... would it be span or div? It would probably be div and then a span inside the div. So it'd be div. Or, no, sorry, it'd be header. Header. And then inside of the header would be a span. And then inside there would be the name. So it'd be SvelteKit to do app. Alright. Save. Alright, and then in there we would do let's see. So we want header. And then on that we would do a class of, let's see, sticky. Save. So I believe that would hold it at the top. Okay. And then... oh, it doesn't like that though. Why am I getting this? The header element represents an content. What is? Oh my god, dude. Are we gonna have issues with this with Svelte? I don't understand. Why am I getting an error now? What about this is an issue? Oh my fucking word, dude. Seriously, like I just don't understand this error. Header. Attempt to close an element that was not open. What? What do you mean not open? That looks pretty open to me. Dude, seriously. Oh my god. I just don't get that. Dude, is this something? Hold on. They installed something, I think. I just don't get it. Why is there always an error? Why can't I use header? Please tell me why I can't use header. What is wrong with header? I just don't get it. Oh my god, dude. Now it's fine. What is the malfunction with this shit? Bro, what is wrong with VS Code? Hold on, I gotta close this. I don't know what's going on with VS Code. It's having some, like, weird issues. What the fuck is going on? Oh shit, hold on. Dude, VS Code, like, having some issues today. I don't know what... Dude, it keeps sending errors that aren't real. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on with it. It's so weird. It's just, like, erroring for no reason. It's like, oh yeah, there's an error. No, there's not. Oh, okay. You know what I mean? It doesn't even make any sense. Oh my god, dude. It's so weird. Dude. Jeez. Whatever works for you, man. Background. Save. Okay. Well, let's see if this actually is a pink. Let me see if that changes the whole site. Okay, cool. So that does work. Beautiful. All right. So what we'll do is let's give our header. So we're gonna go to header. All right. Sticky BG dash, and then we need to give it. I don't know what's a good color. Where's all the colors here? Rotate cursor. Color. Text color. Or background color. Alright, so here's a list of them. Let's see. I was thinking about doing like cyan, BG sky, indigo, violet. Let's see, pink. Where's all the dark? Oh, here we go. There's gray zinc, gray 950. I like that one. BG gray dash 950. Save. Let's see if we get a full. Okay, that's good. And then we're gonna do text dash white. Save. I think that's how that works. Yep. All right, perfect. And then we need to give it a padding PY dash 2. Y is up and down, right? PY2. Yep. Beautiful. But we'll actually make that like 5. Save. Beautiful. Okay. Nice. And then we will do PY2. And then I'm gonna go div class container. And then we're going to bring that in, and then we'll bring this div. Save. Okay, and then we'll... Beautiful. Yes! Perfect, perfect, perfect. Container. Can I do like 1400 px on that one? I think that's how that works, right? Yeah, there we go. Nice, perfect. Hooray, production code inside issue. Right, exactly. Wait, what? Production code issues? Oh god, that's always... All right, there we go. We're finally getting the system down. I think we're good. We're good. We're good. Plus Tailwind. Copy. Something's not working right in my production, so I've replicated the issue. Now I'm building a patch. Okay, good, good. Let's see. Something's not working right in my production, so I've replicated the issue and then building a patch. Okay, cool, nice. That's good that you're able to put a patch on there, or you're building a patch for it. That is good. Let's see. Let's see. Alright, so that seems to be working. That's awesome. Can we drop shadow that? Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe not 1400. That's a little close to the edge. I'm just going to container it. Yeah, it works out good. Alright, and then PX4. Well, couldn't I just do... Can I just put the padding here? Question mark? Can I just go P4? P-4? Save? Would that still have the same effect? It would. Okay, cool. Well, no. That's okay. I'll have it like I had it. I kind of like this right here. This is good. Okay, so there's the app, and then we'll do... Okay, so that's in the app, and then what we'll do is that's the header, and then below that, I want to put a... let's see, what would be the best way to do it? Do like a hero image, but I don't want that to be on every page. I just want that to be on the... Well, there isn't going to be. There's just going to be one thing anyway, so I guess it could be in the header. Oh, that's a hero image, so that's a component, so... Alright, cool. I think that's done. And then the footer... Alright, so let's create a... Footer... Okay, so we're going to go footer... And then, copy. Yeah, we're not doing that. How about we do amp and amp? Copyright amp 2022. Yeah, okay, the year's 2022. Date dot... hold on. Date dot... No. Date dot get full year. Save. I think that will work. Where'd you go? I don't think I like that. Check, what are you doing? Copyright. Alright. Reserve period save. Okay. Ooh, it does not like that. Okay, Grok. How can I put the year in the footer component? Yeah, I already did that. Import on mount. Why am I mounting it? Let year. New date. Oh, so it's new date, get full year. Ah, there we go. Sick. Look at that. I'm a professional. All right. Wait. Oh god, amp. Copy. Save. There we go. Aha! There we go. Yes. Alright, so we'll do span. And span. Span. Class. And then we'll do text small. Center. Text dash. Center. Save. Let's try that. Okay, that doesn't work. Center text. Center text. Save. Let's try that. How to center text with Tailwind. It's just text center. Text center. Save. This will be the text center. This will yeah, but I think because it's in a span, so let me change this to a p tag because of where that's a block item. I don't think span like yeah, there we go. That worked. Brah, and your fucking useless error, dude. These errors are gonna drive me. Oh, okay. Well, there was a okay. Well, that actually did have an error. All right, perfect. And then footer, we'll go class. We're gonna do p. We're gonna do a padding y dash. I don't know 10 save. All right, probably don't even need to do that really. Although I think I'm gonna try to find a way to put that footer to the bottom. All right, Perfect. So we're good there. You can set VS Code to auto save so you don't have to type everything. It's okay. I just have it do this. It's fine. But yeah, I think it's like save on finish line or something like that. Yeah.
There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out.
Okay. Let's see. Fucking Twitch, dude. Oh, what a joke. Oh, man. No, I gotta love Twitch. Alright, let's see. Alright, so the footer looks pretty good. So what I need to do is figure out... Alright, so that part's done. Okay. So we'll create a component called... I'm going to call this... Dude, VS Code, you having problems or what? We'll call this hero. Well, hero is going to have the form inside of it. Do we create the... Would the form be its own component inside of the hero, or would the hero be its own thing? I don't want to go too crazy with components. So if we do hero dot svelte, and then do I create a form component? Like yeah, form or form dot svelte. Yeah, svelte. Okay, and then I'm gonna say form just so I have that in there, and then we're gonna go to hero, and then I'm gonna do script import form from svelte, save. Okay, and then we'll go over to then we're gonna go over to page, and then we're gonna go script. That's the first thing we're gonna do is import hero, save, and then I'm gonna put that right in here. Hero. All right, there we go. Bam. Did not do anything. Okay. No, that's because I'm an idiot. Well, we all knew that. All right, form. Save. All right, there we go. Perfect. Beautiful. All right, so Okay, header. Page. Okay, so I need to go div, class container, px4. Alright. Div save. Alright, so that's gonna center in that. Beautiful. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Now we're gonna go into the form, and then I just need to do. Okay, we're gonna go form. Label for. We don't need that. I'm gonna just wrap my label inside of the self-closing label tag, and then we're gonna go in input. Or sorry, input type is equal to text. Name is item, I guess, or to do. To do ID is equal to do. Placeholder will be add to do save. Okay, it does not like that. Okay, so apparently that is not a self-closing tag. So we're going to put that right there. Maybe I'm doing this wrong. I am definitely doing this wrong. Save. Okay, there we go. Label. And then in here, we're gonna write span to do save. Or, okay, something like that. Well, we won't even need to do that. We don't even need, actually, we don't even need a label. We just do an input. It's fine because we have the thing. I'm just gonna wrap this in a div. Div, save. And we're gonna go boom, 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 save. Okay, cool. So that's done. Okay, perfect. And then I'm gonna go over to this form. Okay, that's perfect. And then we're gonna do hero. And then I'm gonna wrap this in a div. Okay, and then we're gonna add some major padding to this thing. Let's see, save. Okay, and we're gonna class, and then we're gonna go, no, we don't need a container. We're gonna go width dash full h dash full save. Let's see what that looks like. Nothing. Okay, so that doesn't really matter. BG dash gray. Well, no. So you know what we could do is make the entire background like try to think. Kind of cool that a slight background on there. Could do gray. Gray 100. Let's see what that looks like. Wait, why is the form not inside of the... I'm sorry, what? That's weird. Why is the form not inside? There's nothing on there that should be causing the issue. That's weird. Actually, we don't need that in a div. Oh, and... yeah, because I'm going to flex the two items, and then I'm going to go... button... type submit, add. But I'm going to flex... class, flex... flex dash call... gap is to save. Okay, well, I definitely didn't flex. That's for sure. Do we need to remove that gap? No. Keep the gap in there. Flex call dash 2 save. There we go. Okay. Input class width or w dash full, save. Or I guess W dash full, yeah. Save. What happens if you try to shrink that down? What happens? Okay, we need to do class, and then I need to add a hero. Why is that background not working? Background, so that's a nice little padding on there. PY dash, how high can I go? That might be a bit much. How about 20 save? Oh, it doesn't scroll. What? We're not scrolling, we're doing. There we go. Ooh, and then we're gonna do a P dash. PX dash 5 save. Okie dokie. There we go. That looks better. And then we're gonna do form class W full P dash 5 save. There we go. That looks a hell of a lot better. Add and then button class BG dash blue text white. That looks nasty. PX dash 5 save. That looks better. Width or 2/3 or something like that. 2, 3 save. Okay, and then width. Let me go class PY width or W dash 1/3. 2/3, 1/3. Is 1 smaller than 3? Yeah, it is. So how about how do you do the width? Width. Let's see. 396. 1/2 full. 5/6. 3/4. Okay, that would make sense. 3 width 3 4, which leaves 3 4, and then 1/4 is this one. 1/4 save. Save. W3/4. Well, there we go. That looks good. Okay, and then we need to add a blue. I don't like that color. All right, perfect. So if we response that down, crunch it, that looks better. But yeah, that looks actually pretty good. I like that. Okay, you know what we should do? We should just take out that background. We really don't need it. Now the problem with doing it the way I'm doing it right now, at least with the we need the flex on there. But I think I'm gonna remove this gap, or the gap's fine. Oh no, I'm doing it the right way that I should be doing it. Okay, we're good. Yeah, this needs to be like 500 save. That looks nasty. How about 950 save? I don't like that. 750. Oh, that's not a real one. 700. Oh my god, 7400. There we go. How about 800? Right, there we go. We're getting there. Okay, I don't really care for that. We gotta add. I mean, we could add that on there, right? Let's just do 950 like that. Save, and then instead of putting it, did I do this on every one of them? Bro, this thing's gonna piss me off. All right, container. I think what we'll do though is we don't actually want that locked in. I do want the, let's see, hero. I'm gonna remove this right here. Save. I'm gonna remove. We're just gonna have the hero on its own. I think we don't save. There we go. Oh, that looks much better. Nice. And actually what I can do is I can come over here to the hero and I can actually add that in there now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this because we don't need it. Add that in there. Like, oh, that doesn't work. Save full, and then I'll add, oh, I know I'll do it right here. Div class container MX auto. Yeah, I know, I fucked up. Then we'll come down here, come in here, /div, save. There we go. Much better. I like that a lot. Then what we're gonna do is I actually might lighten this up to like 900, right? Gray by like 900. There we go. I like that a lot. We're gonna make that header just a tad bit thick. 10. Yeah, 8. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a nice little border dash border bottom border dash color dash violet save dash 500 save. I think we gotta put border save. Oh no, we don't want the border bottom, right? Border bottom. How do you do border on here? Tailwind, tell me your ways. Border bottom, border with border dash theme, border dash T, border with. I would just border color radius, spacing, border styles. All right, border dash none, hidden, double dotted, solid. Oh, that's right. You need to do border dash solid, save. I think it's there. I just think it's really hard to see. Violet, 750. How about 100? No, it's definitely there at 750, or we'll just do 700. Or actually 400. I did like that color. That was pretty good. Border dash color. How about color? Maybe the color's off. Border color. Border transparent slate. 400 border. Okay, so you just do border, then the name save. Violet 400. Border dash 1 save. Or border dash. Hold on. How do you say bottom though? I don't. Border preset. Border 2. Class border. Is it border B4? Oh, okay. So it's border B-1 save 2. Ah, there we go. So we'll do 1, 2. Border solid. I wonder if I even need that save. Nope. All right. Do I do border? No, we can get rid of that. Save. 1. 1 is like not even viewable. 4. No, we're not 4. 2. 2. Okay, and we're gonna actually lighten that up a little. Let's do 700 on that one. Yeah. How about 8? What's 800 look like? Okay, and then what if we do border save border B2, and then what if we did? Can I make it transparent? Divide. Oh, we're not dividing. Can we make that nice and transparent? Let's see. Border dash transparent. Save dash 1, 2. How about 400? No, it's not. 0.1. 0.5 save. Border transparent. Ring offset border transparent. Offset slate. No. how to make a border transparent Tailwind. Border dash transparent. Sorry, I want to lighten up the color. No. No, like border, bottom, but oh, opacity. Border opacity 0.5. Or is it just -5? Ah, there we go. 7, 6, 5. 5 is completely disappeared. 6. Doesn't really do anything. Border dash B dash transparent. What opacity is -5. Save. Okay, well, I don't think you need that on there. What opacity? Why does 5 make it disappear? But 6 shows up. How about 5.5? It's kind of there. Do the Tailwind LSP plugin? Should be able to hover over it and see if it's an actual Tailwind. I don't think so. I might. Hold on, let's see what I have. I have Tailwind. IntelliSense. There's dot, shades, fold, snippets. Yeah, that's all I really see. Yeah, I don't think that's a thing. I don't think opacity is the right one. But I want to make the border dash B, border dash bottom. There we go. I did 5. That can't be it. Border opacity 5. Border opacity. Border opacity dash 25. 50. Ah, there we go. 75. There we go. That's much better, much better, much better. I like that. Okay, perfect. Now we're making some progress. Okay, perfect. So we have that. Okay, then we're going to go back over to Hero and we're going to crank that padding up to 50. Oh, that's not a real thing. So how about 40? That's a real thing. Holy shit, I like that. That's good. All right, now we're in there. I don't like that color. It's nasty. Form, footer, form, button, BG, violet, and then we're gonna do 800. Save. That's better. And then I think we'll lighten it up a little bit on the hover. So if I go hover BG dash violet dash, violet dash 700. Save. Okay, and then I gotta add a, what is it called? Duration? Duration 200? Save. Yeah, there we go. That's nice. Yeah, there we go. I like that. That's good. Nice. Let's go. Cool. Alright. We're getting there. Oh my goodness. Ooh, shit. hurt. Oh god. That's not good. Okay, let's see. So we have that. I don't like that background. God, I'm not a designer. Alright, so we have that done. That's looking good. All right. Perfect. All right, so let's see. All right, guys, I need to put a pause on this for a second. So Let's see. Square space mobile app or mobile app builder. Do you get an app? Let's see. Mobile device. Do you might be the way to go. Yeah, this might be the way to go. I don't think you can create an app with no code app builders. Yeah, Wix might be the way to go. I just don't know. How much is it? Your logo, branding, credit your way. I wonder. Studio, deliver brilliant smashing deadlines. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I just want to create the site and then transfer it. Product. Wix Studio. What is that? Focus on design, scales automatically. Coding pixels. Yeah, I don't think this is what I want. Code animations. Yeah, I think something different. Okay. Creation business, e-commerce, resources, service business. Bro, it's not bringing up my fucking email, dude. Jesus, if I want to log in, I'll log in. Staff management includes performance set of roles. Sync your team members. I think this might be the way to go because I don't think Squarespace offers this shit. I don't think they do. Scheduling for app for client. Yeah, this is exactly scheduling app for clients. Book your classes on the go. Yeah, this is gonna be the way to go. All right, let me take a picture of this. Camera. Wix has an app that you can put on the Apple/Google Play Store, and people will be able to schedule your services. They have the fees, but they help you launch all of it. So this might be our best route, since we want to make it as easy and cheap as possible. Yeah, okay, cool. Nice. Alright, I think we're gonna go with Wix. I don't really want to use them, but it's just gonna be the easiest way to go about it. If it comes with an app builder and the website builder, then it's just gonna be the best way to go. So, website templates, explore designer made templates, start with the right one. A website builder, create a business, ready site with no time. Well, isn't it just that easy? Alright, mobile app. Yeah. Hire a professional. Okay, cool. Game partner benefits. Let's see. Join the partner program that benefits with the agency, including. Yeah, I don't wanna. No, I don't wanna do that. No, I'm all set. I'll just build this and then give them the login, or we'll change the login. Yeah, I think we're just gonna go with Wix for that one. I just need something basic because I'm not building a whole fucking app by hand. That's just not happening. I don't have that skill set, and we don't have that much time. So. Yeah, we'll just use this. All right. Damn. Let's see. All right, guys. Tell you what. I need to run and go. I got a ton of things I need to do today. We'll continue with Svelte. I think we might have to put it on pause, possibly for a little bit. I need money, so I gotta create a website for somebody. I'm not coding it out. The budget's very small, so we're just gonna use something like. Plus, they want an app, and I'm not building a native app, so that's out of the question. So yeah, we'll just use Wix for that. So we'll still stream this. That should be fine. But yeah. But yeah, I do gotta go get some food and stuff like that and some other stuff for today. So I gotta end a little early, but I'll possibly be on tonight, I think. I already worked out this morning, so I should be on tonight. But if not, I'll be on tomorrow morning and we'll continue. We'll probably actually jump into this because I'll need to learn how to build a site using Wix, which shouldn't be too difficult. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I will be back possibly tonight, but if not, I will see you all later on tomorrow. All right, guys. Thank you all for hanging out. Appreciate it, and I will see you soon. All right, bye-bye.